I returned from my Narmada Parikrama in June 2019. As I was adjusting with the change, the world changed for everyone. Pandemic took over, lockdown announced, and suddenly entire world was coping with the changing circumstances. It was during this change that I observed, noticed, realized that the stress and anxieties that people experienced even before pandemic started cropping up, and the intensity was increasing by the day. Reason? Before pandemic, everybody had an escape from their stress and anxieties. Vacation, clubbing, outing with friends, or maybe just renting out at someone. Post pandemic, suddenly everyone was on their own. And now there was no escape from those stress and anxieties. They had to face it. It was then that I realized that maybe my contribution to society would be in this particular field, to help people cope with those stress and anxieties, to help them understand the reasons behind those anxieties, and to help them come out of them, or rather eliminate it altogether from their system. To achieve this, I had a certain idea in my mind. Ever since I returned from Narmada Parikrama, I had these intuitions. I used to get these visuals of things that probably would happen in future, near future, or much later. I always had this idea of an institution, an organization, rather a community which was determined and dedicated towards the holistic growth of entrepreneurs or people who were looking to advance their career, or even the families. I visualized a setup wherein if a businessman enters in, he didn't have to worry about anything. An organization which was not blinded. It was not a blinded horse running in a race. It had more of a panoramic view. I was told nothing like this exists. Honestly, it did not exist at all. But I had faith that if God has shown me this is going to happen. And it happened. I associated with School of Inspirational Leadership University, SIL University. I still remember my first call with Sheetal Kanse, Senior Manager, Video Production. It was during this call that I realized that people had told me nothing like this exists and that I need to change my strategies. With that call, it reinstated my faith that if we clearly visualize things, if we really look into ourselves about what we want and we understand it properly, we can actually get it. And my wait was worth it. What I liked about School of Inspirational Leadership the most is the overall vibe of the institution. Over here, the organization is not just focused on financial growth, scaling up the businesses. It is not looking at just one aspect of things. It's more aware in terms of what a person needs outside of work environment as well. What I particularly admire about the people working here is that they realize that it's not just about the entrepreneur and his business, his emotions, his personal life, his family life, the emotional, mental well-being of his family also affects the business. School of Inspirational Leadership is one organization that has set a vision which is extremely important for the world post-pandemic. Brainchild of Dr. Yogesh Pawar, School of Inspirational Leadership caters to entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs who are starting their businesses and they have big dreams for their businesses. But what sets SIL apart from all the other consultancies is the fact that they look at that entrepreneur from a holistic view. They are not just focused on the financial growth of this person or just scaling up the business. They give equal importance to the emotional, spiritual, mental health of this person, thereby making sure the mental health, emotional health, spiritual health of his family as well. Because here they realize that an individual is not an individual. An individual gets affected by the surroundings. So it's not just important to keep the individual happy, not just keeping that individual in good mental, spiritual, physical health. It is equally important to cater to these needs of that individual's family, friends, and surroundings as well.